Hey guys, welcome. This is the first time I'm doing this, really just a test run. Currently driving beverages from Oakland to Ely, Nevada. Actually, the main point of this trip is to actually knock out one of the Nevada cities I've not been to yet. It's just on the route, so to pass through. It'll should unlock the city, and I can get that. And I've got 2 more cities after that, I think it is, in Nevada to do to get all the ones. We visited all the ones there, and that'll just, once I do finish that up, try to do that today. I probably won't record the whole run of doing all those. It just leaves Arizona, so let's get my route set up here because it's routing me away from Tonopah, whatever. I think I'm gonna go this way, and I'm actually got a pretty easy load right now, so I think I will. We've got this road here, goes through one of the national parks. It's discovered, but the GPS doesn't actually route me through there, so it should now pop there. I know just to continue straight. Hopefully, it'll then recognize and just bump me straight through. If not, I know when I get it'll correct itself when we get through on the other side. So let's leave the Maersk Depot. I've got real place names, or not place names, companies installed. So this is the Maersk port in Oakland. I personally hate driving out of Oakland. These little loop of roads here. It's just such a huge street, it says. This corner up here and the other one, there's so much traffic through here. Not much at the moment, so that's a good sign. It's very narrow and tight. So as you can see, I'm like over on the curve here, and the trailer is almost across the WL. If you've got a double trailer or a triple or something like that, or even a longer cab, sometimes can cause issues. My truck's not the greatest right now. It's a little underpowered. I just been slowly tweaking it a bit. It's a newer truck too. Maybe driving it a little while, but wasn't too pleased with how it was running, so I made some tweaks. Definitely need a few more to do. Should be doing alright. I'm speeding a little bit there. Just trying to climb out of the hill. I do actually need to rest. How much time do I have for this delivery? I'll get plenty of time. Alright, next, we'll stop at the next rest area. Rest. I know I just passed one. So like I said, I'm just kind of testing this out right now, just doing a basic recording. I'll then play this back afterwards, and just see how this comes out. So potentially maybe start to stream, or at least release recordings. I got some gang, a gang of friends who play in a convoy mode. I'm doing this midday right now, so they're not online. But a convoy will get a convoy going at some point, and usually a lot more fun, a lot more activity, people chit-chatting about stuff. So this should make it all a lot more fun and interesting. Do that. Not quite figured out yet where we'll be streaming yet. I think if it's me streaming, it'll be on my YouTube channel, which I don't really do that much with, but is there. Otherwise, my friend Robbie will have his going. He does it. He's got a Twitch channel, so. So I pretty much drive at night with my high beams on in the game, just mainly because I know. And so in reality, when I drive my car, it's got automatic headlights. They come on and off. my high beams on and off, so I don't think about it at all. Here in the game, you don't have automatics, but you know, it's computers driving the other direction at you. You know, they don't. The computer, you know, you're not blinding the computer. It's an algorithm. So. Well, there's a good chance in the future when we get all get driverless cars and things, high beams really won't be much of a thing anymore because you know, the LiDAR and things like that doesn't need high beam. You need different color light extents. So, oh boy, we got 2 hours before the next. Oh, get this rest stop right here. See, I don't really need fuel, but I need to figure out where the resting is. I think it's just. Here, I think. Just a big dirt. Looks like. There we go. There's the truck there I didn't see. Oh, it's raining. A lot of fun. Wipers on. Oh, I have to go too. Just a journal view. I didn't point. So we got a trailer there. I gotta just back out onto the road. To external so I can keep an eye on stuff coming down the road. So since I don't have track IR and I'm not playing this in VR either, it's a little difficult to see what's coming. Sometimes see what's coming down on the other side, the passenger side. Especially when backing up into, almost always go an external view for backing up. Backing up the trailer. I'm just backing the cab up to a trailer. That's fine. But yeah, especially if I'm backing up into a gate, that's not the road. It's just always go for external. Right, what's coming. So let's see here what happens tonight. Alright, so the GPS didn't update, but I know this is a single road it goes through, and when we get to the other side it'll figure out where I am and correct me. So like I said, this road takes me, it's a undiscovered road, or it's a road that's not on the map that when you discovered it pops up. It takes you through one of the national park lists. Or which one, it'll tell us when there'll be a sign on the side. Is it like a Sierra Nevada national park or something like that? Truthfully, I don't really do many of the national parks in real life. Actually more of a national forest fan when I get out to do this kind of things. I've been to a number of the national forests, not nearly as... I've been to a lot of the national parks, because a lot of them are not really like outdoorsy things out where I am, but things like, you know, the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, like, you know, it's a national park. You know, you're not really doing any hiking or anything. I've been to the National Mall and things like that. No, that's fancy bridge. It really amazes me, like, this road here is, like, it's a nice big road. as it did so, passed the sign saying where the national park is. So, oh well. Busy dealing with headset turning off rather than moving its road signs. We're going a little fast here. Got a little distracted there with the headset. I hope that doesn't happen that often. It may just be because it's just me talking and not there's no feedback. It's not hearing other people talk and all, so it's just kind of timing out. No, it's quiet. No, there's nothing happening. I'll just turn it off to save battery. So we'll see if that happens a few times or not. I actually didn't check to see the battery. Like, they just took off the charger, so the battery should be off. Like, they even put a gas station on the city with this unmarked road. It seems really weird. This road's just not on the map at all. But yeah, there's a ton of these little hidden roads. Some of them are really nice and cool, like this one where it's, you know, this windy, scenic route. Others are just really like little tiny shortcuts. There's I think there's one in Oregon, which like literally the road does a hairpin turn down, and you can just shortcut it straight down. Then there's ones which are more like a driving challenge. There's one in outside Thompson Falls in Idaho. You don't want to take a trailer through that. Vehicles over 45 feet prohibited. Well, at this point, I can't do much about that. Here we are entering. Oh, sorry, this is Yosemite. That's what it is. So I will probably get a fee here for coming in. But so it's going to pop up here. Rough trucking is prohibited. You need to turn around and go back. Once I go past this rest area, this turnaround spot, it's going to go beep 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 and give me a fine. There we go. That's an expensive one for Yosemite. But it's just the one. The thing about these parks in the game, like, yeah, I've got enough cash that I don't really care too much. I'd rather take the scenic road, enjoy the views, than go around. So I'll pay the fee. It's just like, you know, it's an entry fee to the park. Think about that. It's just expensive. So this is Yosemite National Park. Not much to see at the moment. Lots of rocks. I've never actually been to Yosemite in real life. Like I said, I don't get to parks, really, especially these the really big ones out west. Actually, interestingly, I've not spent a lot of time out west at all in real life. Most of my time has been in the Midwest or out east. So I'm really looking forward to Truck Sim finally starting to get closer to the places I've been. Spent some time in Oklahoma. Furthest west, not the furthest west I've been, but the furthest west I've spent some serious time in. I actually used to live there for a while. So I'm kind of looking forward to them getting Oklahoma done. I can drive around a little bit and see places where I've actually been, I know a bit better. And as they continue east, Oklahoma, then not too much there in that kind of stripe of north-south states in a stack there. But after Oklahoma, you've got the Dakotas and stuff. The next set of states east are really where I start getting, start recognizing stuff. And that's also really where the scenery is going to change. You're going to get much more, Minnesota versus Yosemite. It's a very different change of scenery. So I think that'll be an interesting thing to see. It's going to be probably quite a long time, quite a few years away, but I am looking forward to the East Coast. I think it'd be kind of fun to try to do some of those small New England coastal towns where having to wind down these little tiny narrow roads with oncoming traffic and things. That's something that's kind of missing in Euro Truck. I've got Euro Truck as well, and the English map in particular is so kind of crappy and old, and they haven't updated it yet. That it's really missing like the fun narrow roads, rural roads that you can do in England, which is it's a single lane, and you're driving along and come across an oncoming car. Although with the AI, I'm not entirely certain how that, because over in the UK, if you hit one of those roads, if it's a semi truck and a car that meet head on, the car has to back up to the nearest passing area so the semi truck can go past. But the AI in this game, I don't think can handle that. So we're now into Inyo National Forest, INYO, Inyo, whatever. I actually know nothing about it. I know a little bit about Yosemite, but very little. I forget Yosemite is in California, truthfully. But yeah. Elevation 90, was it 9,000 or 90,000? High, but we were also coming down for a while, so it's kind of interesting that sign is there, and we're still, that wasn't even at the peak. I'm still going a little bit quick here. I'm not putting the gas on that much at all at this point, just coasting down the hill. Look here, coming out to the main road. It's picked us up already, knows where we're at, and there's updated the GPS wayfinding. I should actually have it like that, so it's a little more info. So I'm driving this modded Kenworth cab over. Cab over, 4x6, I believe, is the base frame. I don't know what the engine transmissions are. It's a modded engine, I know that much, because it's got its own sound pack. It's a pretty nice sound pack, for that matter. No, it's a nice truck. It's a bit older, older style truck. I got so you got two little tablets. On the left there is kind of your normal information screen. It's what in a modern truck you'd have that right in the center of your dashboard. I can cycle through one of the keyboard buttons. I will cycle through that. At the moment, it's telling me engine temp, engine oil temperature, technically. The fuel range, gear I'm in, time, and the mileage. If I set cruise control, that pops up there. That's why I brought that on that screen. Because cruise control will appear there. The other tablet's just my GPS. That means I can have the actual little info screen UI. That gives me, I can have that. I can kind of toggle through things. I don't need to have that on the GPS all that often. So I've got right now. I've got up the information about the job I'm doing. I'm hauling 36,000 pounds of beverages to Walmart in Ely, Nevada. It'll make me $27,000, which isn't too bad. I got 16 hours before I need to be there. I've got to rest before then. I've got to rest in 10 hours time. But at the very top, it tells me that I've only got 4 hours. So actually, no, I don't even need to rest before then, because I'll be there in 4 hours. Yeah. So that's fun. So that's what that screen shows. I can kind of cycle through these as we're, well, I'll cycle through them here in a second when I get around this corner. Here. I think this is the road that'll take us to, I don't remember the name of the town now. The town I need to unlock. Ooh, a little bit of lag there. That's interesting. Alright, so now we're going here. So I hit over here. I've got a little bit of damage on my truck that was from the previous drive. I discovered that, actually not even the previous one, it was the one before. I just haven't been to the repair place yet. I discovered that the big main support pillars on the Golden Gate Bridge, there's an invisible bounding box around, collision box around them, and that collision box bleeds into the right lane just a hair, and smashed into that. Without, just driving over the Golden Gate, and suddenly crunch, and the truck kind of goes weird. What the hell? And the only thing that was right there was the pillar, but truck damage, yeah, I have to pay a little bit for that. My insurance rates will vary, go up a little bit. Truck, not this much. They won't change for this. Here we go. Welcome to Nevada. But I don't really care too much about the truck rate. Most of the damage is pretty minor. I can drive for. Once you get to about 10%, that's when you start having truck issues. That's where you really start paying attention. So I'm starting to get there, but I got a little bit more damage. So I'm fine with 8%. You can almost think 8% is decent tear. But what you don't want to get is a lot of. You get trailer damage, really doesn't matter too much. It'll affect the XP you get at the end, but that's about all. What you really don't want is any load damage. Is that last icon there? So that's the load damage. If I were to get into a proper collision where I get stuck, I can hit a button. I can call a tow truck. To transport me. I got no messages at the moment. The rest of the stuff. Got this Coca-Cola truck thing that's been behind me for quite a while, and he keeps. Here he comes. Oh, maybe not. I don't know what's going on with this guy. He keeps like accelerating up to go past me and then braking hard, and I'm barely changing my speed. So I got these messages that pop up at the bottom here. You see, I've actually slowed down. He's done. What the fuck this guy's doing? I can't say that if I'm streaming. So yeah, messages down here, the blue. I've got a bunch of drivers that drive other trucks and loads for me to make money. Well, lose me money depending on the driver. So whenever they do something, I get a little message there that says all sorts of things. It'll pop up and say, this driver just finished a job like that one just did. Driver Paul just made me what, $5,500. Oh, driver Paul has, I was through stop signs all the time. Driver Paul's leveled up, which means he's unlocked another skill, which is good. Means he can start making me more money. It'll give it a little time. It'll pop up again about driver Paul. He's going to look for another job. The really kind of crappy thing about the AI drivers you have, not the AI traffic, the drivers, is they only do there and back runs. So you put them in one of your garages, and they drive out to a location, to take a load out somewhere. So, if, like, say I have a driver in Portland, Oregon, right? They'll pick a load up in Portland and drive it out to, say, Seattle, right? And then but then when they're in Seattle, the only thing they'll do is they'll look for a job that'll take them back from Seattle to Portland. Which means often they'll get out to weird places. They'll take an expensive job that'll get them out to a weird place. Come on, pop up and say I've discovered this town. Yeah, there we go. Tonopod's been discovered. Yes. So 8 out of 10. I got 2 more left to do. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So they'll drive out to wherever they're gonna go, Thompson Falls, small town or something like that. and then they won't be able to find something back to, what was I saying, Portland, and so then they have to drive back empty, and you lose money when they have to drive back empty. Whereas, like me doing jobs, I'm rarely actually in Portland. I'll start in Portland, where one of my garages, and I'll drive out to, what I say, Seattle first, drive to Seattle, and then from Seattle, see what jobs are in Seattle. Oh, now I'm going to go to Yakima. Oh, now, and then Yakima, I'll look for another. I don't look for, going there and back. But the other thing is, a lot of cities, like, if you look like for instance, San Francisco area, you've got San Francisco and Oakland right there, and Sacramento's not too far, and there's one other, I can't remember the other city, there's like a bunch of cities all right there, really close to each other. It'd make a lot more sense if the game, excuse me, recognized that those cities are all really close, pretty much quote unquote the same city, for cargo hauling purposes, the same city, and it would allow you to haul, if you went out from say you left San Francisco and you went to, or like I'm doing right now, you left Oakland, you're going to Ely, now you're in Ely, and then you come back. It'd be nice if they look for, all right, well, I can't get back to Oakland, but I can take a job that gets me to San Francisco instead, or even just that kind of small, or it looks for nearby cities would be really nice. Maybe they'll give that as an update. I've not heard anything from SCS about updating the driver AI. I do know that there's some mods out there. We've got one actually in the game. I've got one in my game right now that changes the traffic AI a bit. When I'm playing in Convoy, we've got mixed feelings on that mod. We may end up removing things because of it. Sometimes it makes you feel like the traffic's way better, and sometimes it makes the traffic feel like it's way worse. So we'll see that. We seem to be putting up with it, so we're going to stick around. I've got one mod on right now that we're playing around with for our convoy sessions. I think I'll tell them to get it, install it, but it adjusts the traffic light timing a bit more, and I think that it's a lot better with this mod. I don't know if it actually is, but give that a shot. Encourage them to run it. Maybe they'll come up with an opinion, and we can choose to leave it in and check it out. So, yeah, going across Nevada now. It's kind of dull and boring desert. Actually, I like Nevada. My friend Tyler, who's one of the guys who'll be in our convoy sessions, he hates Nevada. That's his least favorite state to drive through. But actually, I think Nevada's pretty fun. So yeah, because of that, he's adamantly opposed to going through Nevada. Very, a little wide there. So when we do convoys, we're pretty much never going to go to Nevada unless he's not on. Yeah, let's see. I've got about 2 hours left. 118 miles to my destination in Ely. So it's not 118 to Ely. It's 118 to the Walmart in Ely. So maybe 100 miles to Ely. 112. So the Walmart's about 1 mile inside the city limits. So yeah, after this I gotta get up to Jackpot, Nevada, and I don't remember the other place I need to get to in Nevada, but yeah, I've been working on knocking out all the cities and all the states. So yeah, Nevada's the second to last one in Arizona. Arizona's got a handful of cities that are just kind of like on the ends of I may repeat myself. I was hearing noises on my headset. But Arizona's got a number of cities that are on the ends of dead end roads kind of thing, especially heading down towards Mexico. So those are a little harder to knock off because they're usually a little bit on the smaller side of things, like Nogales, for instance. Like I've not been down to Nogales yet. Nogales isn't that small, but compared to like Tucson. Drink a little more. But yeah, compared to Tucson, there's also so there's not as many loads down there. And of course, once you get down there, you're going to want to find a load back, and that can be a little more difficult. Oftentimes, there isn't one. There is a fast travel that if you're down there and it's just nothing interesting going anywhere. Sometimes you can even get stuck in places where it's just like all the loads are just local loads. Screw this. So you can fast travel out, or you can either fast travel any city that's got a repair place in it, or you can fast travel to any of your garages. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, that helps. You have to pay. So, fast travel. Of course, depending on where you're going, the cost is more a lot. So, like you would pay a fair bit to fast travel from say Cheyenne, Wyoming to San Diego. It would be quite a lot of money. Yeah. But you probably wouldn't pay that much. I don't know why you would, but pay to fast travel from like Oakland, San Francisco. I said it's really stupid. There's a bridge between the two, and that's it. But yeah, I'm kind of rambling a bit on this, just so I can, like I said, I'm testing things out, so we'll see how it's all kind of fits together, and just chit chat. Not much more to talk about. There's cops in the game, so you have to pay attention to your speed. Like right now I'm doing 70 and 70. Cops, it's a bit random. Some cops will ting you for doing a mile over, and some cops you could be doing 90 and a 55, and they won't care. Same is true with red light cameras. Right turn on red is generally allowed. There's a few places where they've got signs saying no right turn on red, but generally speaking, you can turn right on red. But it's not quite that it's finicky, but the game sometimes doesn't register. There's that Coke truck finally gone around and passing me. Sometimes the game doesn't quite register things. I found that the best way to turn right on red is you actually want to start turning before you enter the intersection. I think if your wheels are turned a little bit and you've got your turn indicator on, you're less likely to get a red light ticket when turning right on red, but that doesn't always work. Oh, on the subject, we mentioned a bit ago how much time and distance. So time and distance in the game is compressed. So, what you're seeing up here on the time, saying 15 miles, 21 minutes, that's going to be game time, game distance, not. It's the real distance, and it's the real time it would take to do that distance. But because the game is kind of compressed and all, it's not. How's best to describe it? It's not actually. It's not actually going to take me 13 minutes in real time to get there. I don't remember what the time compression is, but yeah. Coming into Ely here. And should be a pretty quick drop off. we'll see. Yeah. Looks like the Walmart's right around the corner here, so I didn't even look to see if my truck's branded in. Nope, just a plain white trailer. The two banes of any truck driver in this game when it comes to traffic, the two things you don't want to get stuck behind is a bus. It's in front of me right now. Those things are they're slow. It just seemed to always be in the way. There's tons of them in the game, like way more buses in the game than you should have in real life. And the other one is old cars. There's a handful of old, it goes like an old car and an old truck, pickup truck. I think that's it. I think there's two old cars. Yeah, there's two old cars and an old pickup truck in the models. And you'll be driving down the highway, doing like 80 or something like that. Come around the corner and just be like a wall of traffic, just like inching by, and you finally get up to the front of the traffic. It's just like an old car in the right lane, just like trundling along half a mile an hour, just holding everyone up. The AI does some weird things. Because of game like distance compression and whatnot, the entrance and exit ramps are a bit sharper and narrower than real life, and the game doesn't. No, I did one of these the other day. I don't want to do one of those. That's my least favorite parking spot, I think, in this entire game, where it's trying to get me to park. But because what was I saying? Yeah, because the AI doesn't move over when you're getting on the highway, and so you get a lot of AI traffic that'll come up the entrance ramp, and there'll be cars on the highway, and then the AI has to come to a stop and wait for there to be an opening. And so that causes issues, and all sometimes when when a lane ends or something like that. So yeah, excellent here. No negatives. Not a lot of XP, but it actually takes a fair bit these days to get now that I'm on the higher levels to actually get a level up on that. So that was a quick run. I'm going to stop this recording now and have a good time. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever. I don't even know if I'm uploading this anywhere, but get in the habit of that. All right, peace out.